New Moon Period April 30, 1992. Daxia Country, Bishan Mansion. The double moon is suspended in the sky, and the night is not like night. Under the moonlight, a huge fierce bird passed over the city, making a sharp howling sound, and rushing towards the pedestrians below. The streets are in chaos. A sword light shot from a distance and penetrated the head of the fierce bird. The fierce bird's huge body, with inertia, crashed into a building, and hit the ground at an unabated speed. A group of men in black quickly arrived and took away the dead bird. The chaotic streets returned to normal, and pedestrians talked and laughed and became lively again. If the ground is not cracked, there are no large patches of blood and feathers, and there is no broken glass all over the floor. Everything just now seems to have never happened. Zhang Xi was very calm, but he raised his head to look more at the black-clothed warriors, and then quickly lowered his head to look at the vegetable stall in front of him. Can't let people take advantage of the chaos to pass the food on his stall. He has lived in this era for 6 years and has seen many similar scenes on the news. At first he was shocked, but now he is used to it. Hundreds of years ago, after the great changes in the world, although human beings re-established social order, the newly emerged power of warriors and the occasional monsters still left a lot of chaos in the new social order. As a surviving mobile vendor, setting up a stall in this era cannot avoid some trouble. For example, being robbed. Zhang Xi lives in Xinghua Yuan community in Luming district, and the entrance of the community is one of his permanent booths. Xiao Zhang, have you confiscated the stall yet? A tall and thin middle-aged man came to Zhang Xi's booth. Zhang Xi was not salty or indifferent, hummed, and ignored him. This is his neighbor downstairs, nicknamed Li Meizi, with sharp-mouthed monkey cheeks, a cunning look, and his famous love takes advantage. Li Meizi bowed his head to pick and choose at Zhang Xi's booth. Fresh vegetables such as potatoes, greens, and radishes are displayed on the stalls. Zhang Xi is the youngest among the mobile vendors in this neighborhood. He is so thin and looks like a bully. People like Li Meizi often come here to take advantage. After Li Meizi picked it up for a long time, Zhang Xi couldn't stand it anymore. Uncle Li, these are all my new purchases in the market. Freshness is guaranteed. No need to pick them. You have to pick, you buy in the morning and sell it in the evening. It must be stale. Without raising his head, Li Meizi picked another potato. Zhang Xi rolled his eyes. After a while, Li Meizi finally finished picking. Zhang Xi molly weighed and checked out, Uncle Li, a total of 9 yuan and 8 mao. Xiao Zhang, I am your old customer too, 9 yuan. No problem, you go well. Okay, send me 2 more green peppers, and I will take care of your business next time. Li Meizi's movements were also very numb, grabbing 2 green peppers from the stall, carrying the bag and turning around and leaving. Xiao Zhang, next time you meet someone like Li Meizi, you don't need to show him a good face. Lao Yang, the owner of the stall next door, poked at the back of Li Meizi. Zhang Xi smiled and said, Uncle Yang, you are more expensive in doing business. $1 is a matter of money. If I quarrel with him, I will lose more than $1. Your kid's head is good, I don't understand these principles. Old Yang shook his head. Zhang Xi smiled and turned the electronic scale back silently. Just kidding, how can you say that you're an elite in your previous life? Can someone like Li Meizi take advantage? It's 8:30 in the evening. The vegetables on Zhang Xi's stall are almost on sale, ready to collect things and go home. Xiao Zhang, take this old hen back. It's almost the college entrance examination, so you can make up for it. Lao Yang handed an old hen to Zhang Xi. Thank you Uncle Yang, no, really no need. Zhang Xi waved his hand quickly. We have been neighbors for several years. You don't need to be polite to me. And this is what I went to the market today to buy food, and a boss gave me a gift. No money. Zhang Xi certainly didn't believe what Lao Yang said, but he could not refuse, so he had to accept the old hen and was very grateful. Finally, after giving Lao Yang the leftover vegetables from the stall, he drove home with the old hen. Xinghuayuan is an old community, built in the first year of the new moon era. It was the first batch of residential areas built by Baishan Mansion after the great changes in the world, belonging to refuges, so the plan was very crowded, all of which were two-bedroom and own-living houses with an area of less than 30 square meters. It is also a miracle that it can be retained until today, nearly 100 years later. But today, Xinghuayuan is a slum. Zhang Xi was reborn in this era 6 years ago. He was a homeless child at first. After making money from a stall, he rented a house here because he was cheap. There is no elevator on the 23rd floor. When I climbed to the door of the house, I could only walk with my waist. This body is too weak. No way, nutrition can't keep up. After opening the door, a little girl who was also malnourished came out from the inner room. The little girl used to have no name or surname, but was also a stray child. Later, the surname of Zhang Xi was Zhang Daodu. 6 years ago, when Zhang Xi was reborn, his body was extremely weak, he couldn't even walk, and he almost starved to death. Zhang Daodu was looking for food everywhere and saved him. Since then, the two have depended on each other. Brother, the food is ready, wash your hands and eat quickly. Zhang Daodu smiled and put the slippers in front of Zhang Xi. Like Zhang Xi, Zhang Daodu is also very thin, like a bean sprout dish. Although he is 13 years old, he is about the same height as Lao Yang's 7-year-old grandson. Zhang Xi changed shoes and entered the house, raised the old hen in his hand, and smiled, Daodu, see what I brought. Zhang Xi, you are spending money again. Zhang Daodu's smile disappeared, his face straightened. This is from Uncle Yang. You can't just accept other people's things, don't you know? I'm a big man, I teach you all these things. Zhang Xi touched Zhang Daodu's forehead with his hand, and then smiled, don't worry, I will sell the leftover dishes today. Give it to Uncle Yang. That's equivalent to spending money randomly. Do you still want to eat chicken? Miss you. Zhang Xi smiled and shook his head, carrying the old hen into the kitchen. Can't blame Zhang Daodu for being stingy, this is caused by the previous experience of homeless children. Although he was born as a vagrant, he lived in a peaceful age in his previous life and matured. After being reborn, he quickly got rid of his identity as a vagrant. Zhang Daodu has been wandering since he was a child, hungry and full, so he has a strong idea of money. In the small kitchen, Zhang Xi began to kill chickens. Zhang Daodu watched happily, and the sound of drooling kept ringing. Stay away and don't splash your blood. As Zhang Xi spoke, he took a kitchen knife and sharpened it on the whetstone a few times, grabbed the old hen's neck and gently wiped it. The old hen struggled hard and had a very strong dying energy. If she didn't hold it down, she would definitely get blood on the ground. The sudden sound of the reminder made Zhang Xi stunned. The old hen was alive and kicking, and the blood on her neck splashed everywhere. Hey, hold it down! Zhang Daodu's yelling voice pulled Zhang Xi back from his dazedness. Zhang Xi, can you kill chickens? Mistakes, mistakes. Although he was bloodied, Zhang Xi smiled happily. After he held the chicken again, he took a closer look and found that the chicken was indeed a little different. The eyes and neck were abnormal blood red, which was caused by a burst of blood vessels. The mutated old hen? This chicken can't be eaten. Zhang Xi said. What? Why can't you eat it? Zhang Daodu was so stupid that he swallowed almost a pot of saliva. I suspect it has mutated. Look at its eyes and the skin on its neck. Zhang Xi opened the problematic place. Didn't the news say that the poultry in the city will not mutate, and the mutated monsters are all outside the city? Zhang Daodu was puzzled, and finally swallowed and sighed. Can't eat chicken. The night is quiet. 2 bright moons hang high in the night sky, With the naked eye, there is no difference between these two moons, they are exactly the same. Zhang Xi shook his head, and an extra moon came out, together with the aura recovery. In this era, everything seems to be normal. For example, the experience value panel in front of you. Level, ordinary people experience value, 5. After 6 years of rebirth, has Goldfinger finally arrived? Zhang Xi has been unable to complain about the crudeness of the panel. He originally planned to survive in a difficult mode in this era. After all, memories of past lives are difficult to play a role here. Because if there are no errors in the history books, the time of his rebirth should be the future. In 2237 AD, the second moon appeared outside the Earth, and the aura recovery came quietly. The world has changed dramatically, everything has grown, and living things have evolved on a large scale. However, a huge number of wild creatures are more adaptable to the new environment, to the forefront of evolution, becoming a powerful monster, competing with humans for a new world. In 2247 AD. This year is also the year of the new moon era. In the 23rd year of the new moon period, the heavens and the earth changed dramatically again, the creatures evolved a second time, and the second aura recovery began. At this time, the human warriors have become stronger by virtue of the ancient martial arts inheritance of the old age. The martial arts training system headed by the 4 major martial arts academies has been established, and a large number of martial artists have been cultivated. In the 61st year of the new moon period, a tide of beasts attacked Baishan Mansion, and the Alavel strong Li Bibai was born, and he smashed the powerful Alavel monsters, the blood pupil demon ape, with one sword. Since then, no Alavel monsters have attacked human cities. Warrior, the era of aura recovery, the pioneer of human evolution. Zhang Xi revealed a look of yearning. Reiki has been resurrected for more than 100 years, and the martial artist training system established by mankind has a history of 70 years. The easiest way to become a martial artist is to pass the martial arts college entrance examination and enter the martial arts academy. However, with his current physical and financial conditions, wanting to become a warrior is simply a dream. If this experience value panel can work, maybe there is still a scene. Zhang Xi tried to use consciousness to assign experience points to levels. Level, ordinary person experience value, 0. In the next moment, Zhang Xi felt blood spurting, a wonderful energy spreading throughout his body, his physique improved in the blink of an eye, his muscles tightened, and his breathing became stronger. Unlike before, when I walked for a while, I was out of breath. So hungry. Immediately afterwards, a strong sense of hunger appeared in the abdomen, as if he had not eaten for 3 days. Zhang Xi hurriedly ran into the kitchen, digging out the leftovers, and devouring it. But when there was enough rice, I opened the refrigerator and ate all the steamed buns, bread, cucumbers, and radishes. In the end, it was only 70% full. Zhang Xi, are you starving to death? Zhang Daodu, wearing pajamas, holding a rag doll, stood at the door of the kitchen. It seems to be. Zhang Xi nodded. Zhang Daodu said nothing, turned and left. Still hungry? Zhang Xi clutched his stomach, but there was no more food in the kitchen, except for the mutated old hen. Since it has mutated, he will definitely not eat it, who knows what the consequences will be if he eats it. The potato chips I saved, let you eat it. Zhang Daodu appeared again with 2 bags of potato chips. Isn't it expired? Expires tomorrow. Oh. Zhang Xi accepted the potato chips with confidence. Because Zhang Daodu is used to hard days, he likes to save what he eats, which often expires. Like these 2 bags of potato chips, Zhang Xi vaguely remembered that they seemed to have bought Zhang Daodu a long time ago and were criticized by Zhang Daodu for spending money. At this time, both of them were not drowsy. One of them was holding a bag of potato chips and huddled on the sofa in the small living room, watching a midnight horror movie. Brother, is there really a ghost? There are even monsters, ghosts, or something, maybe there are also. I really want to have two as pets. Zhang Xi fell silent. A cold wind blew, and Zhang Xi shuddered with the crippling voice in the movie. Well, go back to the house to sleep, and go to school tomorrow. Hehe, are you scared? Fart. Early the next morning, Zhang Xi got up with dark circles under his eyes, but Zhang Daodil looked energetic. It's nice to be young. Zhang Xi made an excuse for his timidity. After breakfast, the two went to the fruit and vegetable wholesale center together to buy the vegetables to be sold in the evening and then went out to school with their school bags. Baishan No. 1 Middle School, the best high school in Baishan Prefecture. Zhang Xi is a senior in Baishan No. 1 Middle School. After entering the classroom, the students were very excited, talking in groups of something. Have you read the news last night? The strong shot is suspected to be Alavel. You also believe this kind of news? I have reliable news. It is said that the fierce bird is only Clevel. Does it need an Alavel powerhouse? That is, since Li Bibai, the second strongest in the world, took the shot 30 years ago, how can Alavel monsters dare to invade human cities? Zhang Xi didn't join in the fun, sat in his seat, took out the textbook, read quietly, and studied hard. He is well aware that no matter what era, cultural knowledge is the top priority and the foundation of everything. Even if you are a warrior, the first step is to learn cultural knowledge. Otherwise, an illiterate, even if lucky to become a warrior, he is destined to have no future and will not go far. Zhang Xi, are you not curious about yesterday's monster attack? Zhang Wei asked at the same table. Not curious, because I was there yesterday. Zhang Xi smiled. Perhaps because of the time span, he seemed a little withdrawn and rarely communicated with his classmates. The only person who can speak and be called a friend is Zhang Wei at the same table. Are you at the scene? Quickly talk about it. How big is that fierce bird? How strong is it? What level of warrior is the shot? Zhang Wei's voice increased a little, and he asked excitedly. In an instant, several classmates at the front and back tables came over and looked at Zhang Xi with curiosity. Zhang Xi glanced at them and said, there is a fish in Beiming. Its name is Kun. Kunzi can't fit in a big pot. If you don't study hard, you will worry about it. Bye. Several middle fingers stood in front of Zhang Xi. Zhang Xi bowed his head calmly and focused on the book, but he was thinking about other things in his heart. Today seems to be the final registration time for the Wuyuk College entrance examination, right? Zhang Daodil will definitely not get up early on Saturday morning. Zhang Xi made breakfast. After eating, he left a note and went out. Zilu Market is the largest vegetable and meat wholesale market in Luming district of Baishan Prefecture. Starting from Xinghuayuan, take a rail car and arrive in more than half an hour. There are many vendors who come to Zilu Market in the morning to buy goods, which is quite lively. Zhang Xi sometimes comes here to eat dishes, so he is fairly familiar with the environment, so he first walked around here. When he walked to the meat wholesale center, he found that a shop was particularly hot. Many people were queuing up, and those who came out carried a chicken in their hands. Some were killed, some were still alive. Zhang Xi observed carefully for a long time. The chickens these people received from the shops were normal and showed no mutated characteristics. Did you think it was wrong? It was really accidental? But Lao Yang and Li Meizi, why happened to be the mutant chickens? Zhang Xi looked at it for a while, his eyes condensed suddenly, he saw a chicken with mutated characteristics. At this time, a middle-aged man with a kind face came from a distance, walking vigorously. Those in line immediately greeted with a smile, and many people still yelled Shen Shanren. Shen's meat wholesale, Shen Chuan. Zhang Xi's eyes moved slightly and he turned and left. He didn't go in to pick up the chicken. Obviously, the probability of picking up the mutant chicken is very small. But the chickens of Shen's meat wholesale must be mixed with mutant chickens. Thinking of this, Zhang Xi came out of Zillow Market and walked all the way to the west for about 1 kilometer. A sign stands at the intersection ahead, Shen's slaughterhouse. An advertisement was posted on the street light pole next to the sign. Long-term recruitment of full-time and part-time workers is 80 yuan a day, and the salary is paid daily. After seeing the content clearly, Zhang Xi was surprised. His plan just now was to come to the slaughterhouse to personally pick some mutant chickens, buy them back and kill them. But he knew that it was risky to do so. Because the chickens that Shen Chuan gave for free were mixed with mutant chickens, there might be something hidden behind them. Zhang Xi is usually very cautious in doing things. If it weren't for experience points, he would not take this risk if he was killed. Now, with the recruitment advertisement, he doesn't have to take risks. Shen's slaughterhouse is not small in scale, has a lot of jobs, and has a lot of workers' mobility. From afar, they smelled a strong smell of chicken shit, and many workers were holding knives and rubbing a knife on the chicken's neck mercilessly. After Zhang Xi entered, he directly said that he was doing a part-time job, and the fat eldest sister who was in charge of recruiting did not ask her origin, so she arranged the job. The fat sister originally wanted to teach Zhang Xi a chicken, but after seeing Zhang Xi slaughter a chicken, she nodded in relief. Before leaving, he reminded, "You have to kill at least 100 chickens a day, and one less chicken will be deducted 10 yuan. Pickling skin." Zhang slandered and started to kill chickens. There is a bunch of live chickens in front of him, and a poultry depilator next to him. Perhaps it has just settled down, and many technologies of the old era have not been restored. For example, the Shen slaughterhouse is very backward. It does not even have a standard automated chicken killing line, and it depends on manual chicken killing. After the workers kill the live chickens, they throw them into the deherring machine and clean them. This is a complete process. In order not to attract the attention of others, Zhang Xi didn't specifically look for those chickens with mutated characteristics, and honestly swung his knife at those chickens. After killing about 30, Zhang Xi casually grabbed a live chicken, his eyes lit up, a mutant chicken. Hand up the knife and drop. The familiar prompt sound made Zhang Xi feel particularly pleasing. With encouragement, Zhang Xi became more vigorous and entered a state of selflessness, killing more than 70 chickens in the morning. Let the fat eldest sister who occasionally visit, can't stop nodding. A great young man, looking so thin, his hands and feet are very quick. When eating at noon, the fat sister showed kindness and rewarded Zhang Xi with a big chicken leg. Zhang Xi didn't dare to eat it, so he secretly gave the chicken thigh to a shy young lady next to him, gaining 100 points of favorability. Soon, one day passed. After 7 o'clock in the evening, the workers were off work. Zhang Xi just dragged on for more than 2 hours, and when it was almost 10 o'clock, he put down the kitchen knife with unfinished meaning. "Young man, come tomorrow, elder sister will give you a salary increase, 90 yuan a day." The fat elder sister smiled kindly, and counted today's wages to Zhang Xi, a total of 80 yuan. Killing more than 200 chickens a day, almost set a personal record of killing chickens in the Shen slaughterhouse. Such an excellent worker is just as good as the two. Good. Zhang Xi answered decisively. It doesn't matter if money is not money, it's mainly the experience value gained in a day, let him taste the sweetness. Level, ordinary person experience value, 55. 55 experience points are enough for him to pass the martial arts college entrance examination. But just for these, he is not satisfied. The slaughterhouse only took care of lunch. Although Zhang Xi worked overtime for more than 2 hours, the fat eldest sister who was peeling the skin obviously would not care about his dinner. Going home hungry, Zhang Xi was already hungry and dizzy. Opening the door, he found that Zhang Daodao was shrinking on the sofa watching TV, with food still on the table. "Zhang Xi, you are too much, see what time it is." Zhang Daodu was very angry. Didn't I leave a note? Zhang Sigan laughed. Zhang Daodu took out the note and put it in front of Zhang Xi. It said, if something is going on, come back later. I'll be back later, just after 10 o'clock. It's so messy outside, what should I do if something goes wrong? Zhang Daodu said, staring. Not as an example, next time I promise to go home before 9 o'clock. Zhang Xi smiled, then patted his chest and said. In this matter, he did not do the right thing. He never went home after 10. In this era, unlike the old era, at night, there is no peace outside. After Zhang Daodu finished his lesson, he returned to normal, smiled again on his face, and got up to heat the food. Vegetables, shredded potatoes, and rice are the most common dishes on the dinner table for the two. When they were eating, the two smiled again. You smell like chicken shit, why did you go? Zhang Daodu asked. I went to the slaughterhouse as a part-time job, 80 yuan a day. Part-time? Stop selling vegetables. Not for sale, I am going to take the martial arts exam and become a martial artist. Okay, then I will transfer out the dead deposit, buy more meat, and make up your body. Hearing Zhang Daodu's words, Zhang Xi smiled lightly. Zhang Daodu never questioned him, and everyone didn't believe that he could pass the college entrance examination for martial arts, except Zhang Daodu. Those deposits are reserved for buying a house, so don't withdraw them. Zhang Xi said. Aren't you stupid? When you become a warrior, the government will allocate a big house, and you still need to buy it. Zhang Daodu smiled. Zhang Xi is silent. You are not afraid that I am not a martial artist? Thinking of Zhang Daodu's anger erupting, Zhang Xi shuddered. Martial artist, must become a martial artist. Early the next morning, Zhang Xi once again came to the Shen slaughterhouse. With yesterday's experience, he kills chickens faster today. From morning to 8 o'clock in the evening, although it was more than an hour less than yesterday, in the end he killed nearly 300 chickens and gained 80 experience points. In this way, his experience value reached 135 points. Little Lu, I told the boss that if you are willing to do it here for a long time, you can give you 4,000 yuan a month, and the elder sister can cover you. The fat eldest sister said with a strange look, and took it for a day. Past Zhang Xi's wages. That strange look made Zhang Xi chill all over. Eldest sister, I'm still in school. Zhang Xi rightly refused. After Zhang Xi left, the fat sister sighed quietly, what a nice boy. After a while, Shen Chuan, the owner of the slaughterhouse, came, and he checked the number of live chickens slaughtered in the past 2 days. Then he frowned and said, it's too slow. To recruit more workers tomorrow. You must dispose of all the live chickens within 2 months. Before returning home, Zhang Xi bought 100 braised pork knuckles at Zillow Market, plus 20 caddies of fresh mutton, which almost spent the money Zhang Daodu gave him in the morning. Fortunately, he improved his martial arts talent by 5 points last time, otherwise he would not get back so many things. That's it, when he gets home, he can hardly get up. Zhang Daodu was greedy and drooled when he saw so many pork knuckles and lamb. Brother, with such a big capital, if you can't become a martial artist, I'm really sorry. Zhang Daodu said, while gnawing on the pork knuckle. Look, when I become a warrior, we can live in a big house and eat big meals every day. Zhang Xi also grabbed a pig knuckle and gnawed it. The night is quiet. 2 rounds of bright moons are in the sky, making the night of this era brighter. Zhang Xi got up from the bed and opened the experience value panel. Level, Ordinary Person Experience Value, 135. Then he concentrated his mind, and meditated in his heart to assign 5 experience points to the level. To be cautious, he did not improve too much at once. The last time he raised 5 points, he was too hungry. If the increase was too large, he might starve to death. Sure enough, the next moment, a familiar feeling appeared, a strange energy spread throughout the body, the muscles became tighter, and the breath became longer between breathing. Make a fist lightly, the strength is obviously enhanced. With 31 points of talent in martial arts, he finally became a normal person. Soon, a strong sense of hunger appeared, and the hungry Zhang Xi's eyes turned green. But this time he was prepared, and quickly grabbed the prepared pork knuckles and ate them gorgingly. After eating 30 full, the hunger pangs disappeared. Although the system can directly enhance my physique, it consumes my own energy. Just high-calorie meat can provide sufficient energy. The two upgrades gave Zhang Xi a preliminary understanding of the operating principle of the experience value panel. There is another way. The children of rich families usually use genetic medicine to improve their physical fitness, because genetic medicine contains a lot of active energy. If there is genetic medicine, maybe I can improve more at one time. After thinking about it, Zhang Xi shook his head and gave up the idea. In a short period of time, if the increase is too large, it is easy to doubt. It's okay to take a month to slowly improve. Although the speed is also scary, no one thinks too much. Because Baishan No. 1 Middle School had students before, in just 2 months, he raised his martial arts talent from more than 30 to more than 60, and was successfully admitted to the Budo Academy. New Moon Year 92, May 4th, the weather was fine and windy. Because the college entrance examination is approaching, the senior high school students in Baishan No. 1 Middle School have tightened their strings and tried their best to improve before the college entrance examination. Early in the morning, many people were training in the playground, most of whom were students who had signed up for the college entrance examination for martial arts. No era can escape the problem of the gap between rich and poor. Martial arts candidates from wealthy backgrounds usually not only have genetic medicine to raise their bodies, but also the training is basically carried out in the martial arts hall, with special martial arts guidance and training. In contrast, ordinary martial arts candidates can only improve their physical fitness through primitive methods such as running in the playground. After Zhang Xi changed his clothes in the playground locker room, he joined the running team. He has a habit of doing things. He either doesn't do it or does it best. Although there is an experience value panel, since you want to take the road of warriors, you can't have any relaxation, you have to use your time to the extreme. Among the students who were training for running, many were classmates of Zhang Xi. They were surprised to see Zhang Xi also running. But then, someone showed joking and disdain. Sure enough, the toad also has a dream. The body is so weak, can you run a lap? Zhang Xi ignored these people and wrangled with them. The price was too low, and the final result was the best proof. Half an hour passed, when Zhang Xi finished 10 laps. Those classmates were silent just now. One circle of the playground track is 400 meters. The students who are confident to take the martial arts college entrance examination have different physical qualities. Let alone 10 laps, 100 laps are fine. But what about Zhang Xi? A weak chicken who could not finish even 2 laps in the previous physical education class would have been hammered by the physical education teacher 800 times if it hadn't done well. Now he ran 10 laps without stopping? Although this is at the level of a normal person, it is obviously abnormal when placed on Zhang Xi. Many people can't believe it. Zhang Xi left the runway calmly, took a simple shower in the locker room, changed his clothes, and walked to the classroom. In the classroom, students who only take the liberal arts college entrance examination are all working hard. Zhang Xi walked back to his seat, took out the textbook, and quietly read and studied. At the same table, Zhang Wei looked at Zhang Xi a few times, looked up and down, and said in surprise, "Zhang Xi, not seen in 2 days, how did I find that your complexion has changed? It seems to be taller than before." "Really? Maybe it's because I'm getting taller, and I've strengthened my exercise recently. It's normal to look good." Zhang Xi smiled. The increased level of the experience value panel has enhanced his physical fitness, and his height must be higher than before. I heard Jiang's words about strengthening exercise recently. Jiang Wei's expression moved and said, Jiang Ci, don't walk around after school in the afternoon. Let's go to the Xiantian Wuguan for training. Go to Suanation Wuguan. Jiang Ci shook his head, I don't have the capital. The first level members of Suanation Wuguan start with a cost of 100,000 yuan a year. Haha, don't worry, I have an uncle who is a martial artist in Xiantian Martial Arts Hall and is qualified to take people to train in the martial arts hall. I mentioned this to him 2 days ago and he agreed. Jiang Wei laughed. Your uncle is a warrior? Your kid, you hide it deep enough. Jiang Ci was really surprised this time. In this era, warriors and ordinary people belong to two worlds completely. Many ordinary people, maybe for a lifetime, can only see what a warrior looks like on the news. At the same table for 3 years, Jiang Ci only now knows that Jiang Wei's uncle is a martial artist. It's no wonder that Jiang Wei's physical fitness is so good, and his martial arts talent has long surpassed the martial arts college admission line in previous years. In the last test, he scored a full 82 points and ranked in the top 3 among the senior high school students in Baishan No. 1 middle school. Martial artists often guide, as long as it is not too rubbish, martial arts talent will not be too bad. Not my uncle, but my dad's high school classmate. The relationship is very strong. Jiang Wei explained. That's okay, I'm not welcome. Jiang Ci agreed without hesitation. It would seem too hypocritical if he refuses again. And he really wants to receive professional guidance and training. In the intense review, time flies quickly. The bell rang after school, and none of the students who were going to take the college entrance examination for martial arts were left for self-study in the evening. Jiang Ci and Jiang Wei took the rail car and rushed towards the Suanation Wu Pavilion. Xiantian Wuguan is very famous in this era, because it is the largest martial arts hall on the earth, founded by the strongest man Xiantian. The Xiantian Wuguan has branches in the major cities of the world's 5 major national alliance forces and other small forces. The Suanation Wu Pavilion in Baishan Prefecture is located on the edge of the city center. When you get off the car, you can see 3 giant buildings in front of you. They are the iconic buildings of Suanation Wu Pavilion. Jiang Ci and Jiang Wei, after checking their identities at the door, entered the Suanation Wu Pavilion through the 8-lane gate. Looking around, there is a large square first, then there are the martial arts community, commercial centers, parks, etc. The real martial arts hall is the 3 giant buildings. If you look down from the sky, the entire Suanation Wu Pavilion is almost a small town with a very large area. In the age of inches of land and inch of gold, such an area also illustrates the power of Xiantian Wuguan from the side. Building number 1 is the office center of Baishan Mansion of Xiantian Martial Arts Hall, and building number 2 is where the martial artists usually train and meet. We go to building number 3, where is the training center for non-martial artists. Jiang Wei said. He was familiar with the road and walked towards one of the giant buildings with Jiang Ci, and he saw that he came often. Jiang Ci nodded lightly and carefully observed the giant building in front of him. It is not high, only 3 floors, but when it gets closer, there is obviously a sense of heaviness, like a giant beast crawling on the ground. Walk into the first floor of building 3. Jiang Ci saw that there were more than a dozen young people wearing training uniforms, men and women, chatting and laughing. There is also a counter in the distance with self-service alcoholic beverages, fruit snacks, and other energy-replenishing foods. The first floor is where everyone rests, the second floor is the general training center, and the third floor is the professional training center specially guided by martial artists. Let's go to the third floor. Jiang Wei explained. Jiang Wei, come over for a drink. An acquaintance greeted Jiang Wei. No, I'm in a hurry to train, and I'll be taking the college entrance examination for Wuyuk soon. Jiang Wei smiled. Come on. Come on, I just saw that teacher Zhang has already gone up, please go quickly. Those young people are encouraging Zhang Wei. Zhang Xi smiled lightly. It seems that Zhang Wei's popularity is good in any place. In 3 years of high school, he and Zhang Weneng became friends, and for this reason, they were able to talk about it, and they had similar tempers. When passing by the second floor, the sound of thumping punches made Zhang Xi's heart tremble. I saw a young man who was training, hitting the dynamometer with one punch, and the numbers were around 800 kilograms. 800 kilograms. I remember the boxing champion Tai of the old days, one punch is just this strength. This young man is obviously not a martial artist. If he is a martial artist, how heavy should a punch be? Zhang Xi was secretly shocked, and looked forward to becoming a warrior even more. The third floor of number 3 building of Suanation Mu Hall is a more professional training center. There are professional training equipment on one side, and the martial arts hall on the other. At this time, many people are training. Xiao Yi, is this the classmate you are talking about? A middle-aged man walked over and asked. Yes, Uncle Zhang, this is Zhang Xi. Zhang Wei introduced. Hello Uncle Zhang. Zhang Xi said hello quickly. On the way here, Zhang Wei had already told him that the middle-aged man in front of him was Zhang Sheng, who was a 9-year-old martial artist. This was Zhang Xi's first close contact with the martial artist, and Zhang Sheng's first impression of him was steady. The whole person looks ordinary, but there is a sense of explosive power and contradictions. This is the warrior? Sure enough, it is unfathomable. Zhang Sheng nodded, only to see that Zhang Xi's body was so thin, frowned slightly, but soon returned to normal, and said to Zhang Wei, you can go training by yourself. Today is strength training. Your strength is a little bit weak. Strive for an early breakthrough. 900 kilograms, then you will be able to participate in the martial arts assessment. What about Zhang Xi? Zhang Wei asked quickly. Smelly boy, don't worry about your uncle, just leave it to me. Zhang Sheng made a kick. Zhang Wei ran away quickly, waved to Zhang Xi, and walked to the equipment training area. After that, Zhang Sheng didn't speak, but looked at Zhang Xi carefully and fell into thinking. Zhang Xi is very calm. He understood the change in Zhang Sheng's expression just now. With his current physical fitness, it is possible that any warrior who came would not look good. However, he had been mentally prepared for a long time, so he took it lightly. Yes, the temperament is not bad, no wonder the academic performance is so good. If you can have a good body, it is very suitable for the road of martial artist. Zhang Sheng said. I also want to have a good body. Zhang Xi smiled helplessly. Haha, it's okay, there is still a chance. Since I decided to take the martial arts exam and it won't work this year, I will come again next year. As long as I'm under 30, I hope to become a martial artist. Zhang Sheng laughed. 30 years old? Zhang Xi shook his head secretly, then he couldn't wait. Obviously, the sooner you become a warrior, the better. Come here, first check your physical fitness. Zhang Sheng took Zhang Xi to the equipment training area nearby. At this moment, Zhang Wei was testing his strength in front of a dynamometer. He spread his feet slightly, and then slammed a punch. Bang! Like a sledgehammer hitting the dynamometer heavily. 765 kilograms. The eye-catching red numbers surprised Zhang Xi. Unexpectedly, Zhang Wei's strength is so high. I actually have a table-mate pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger. Zhang Wei winked at Zhang Xi. Fart, your current strength potential should be around 820 kilograms, a full 55 kilograms less, and you have a long face, so hurry up and train. Zhang Sheng said with staring eyes. Zhang Wei smiled, did not leave immediately, but waited for Zhang Xi to test. Xiao Zhang, go up and hit 3 punches with all your strength. Zhang Xi nodded, stood in front of the dynamometer, took a deep breath, relaxed his body, suddenly clenched his right fist, and then hit the dynamometer 3 times in succession, almost using all his strength. 121 kilograms. 135 kilograms. 119 kilograms. Zhang Xi shook his head and was deeply shocked. The gap is so big. The next item, the speed test, run at full speed on the speedometer. The expression on Zhang Sheng's face did not change. Obviously, he had expected it long ago. On a speedometer similar to a treadmill, Zhang Xi started running, gradually accelerating, and then slowly stopped when the speed reached the limit. 7.1 m/s. Equivalent to 14 seconds per 100 meters. It is also the most common speed, which can be achieved by anyone. The last item, the martial arts talent test. The martial arts talent tester is like an upright dormant warehouse. After standing in, it can scan out various basic information of the body, including blood, muscles, bones, etc. With a beep, the tester gave the result. Martial arts talent, 31 points 31 points. Zhang Xi, your martial arts talent has actually improved so much. This time it was Zhang Wei's turn and shocked. Tell you, I recently strengthened my exercise. Zhang Xi smiled. What's the situation? Xiao Yi, tell me. Zhang Sheng was curious. Zhang Wei took a deep breath and said, last month our school's senior middle school martial arts talent survey, Zhang Xi scored 21 points. In 1 month, Zhang Xi only used 1 month, and his martial arts talent increased by 10 points. Zhang Sheng's eyes lit up and he smiled. It seems that Xiao Zhang still has potential. Practice hard. This year will definitely not work. The martial arts college entrance examination will arrive in less than a month. I will stay for 1 more year and wait for the next year. I will definitely pass it. Wait another year? Zhang Xi smiled slightly. There is a panel of experience points, so what a year. After testing his physical fitness, Zhang Sheng made an analysis for Zhang Xi. The martial arts talent is the comprehensive performance of various physical stats before becoming a martial artist. The most intuitive stats are strength and speed. For example, someone with a martial arts talent of 80 points, the strength potential is 800 kilograms, and the speed potential is 20 m/s. But the actual strength and speed that most people display is far from potential. Just like Xiao Yi, his martial arts talent is 82 points. It stands to reason that the strength should be 820 kilograms, but the strength he played is 765 kilograms. Played 95%. As for you, it's even worse. The average strength is only 125 kilograms, which is less than half of 310 kilograms. Do you know why this is? Zhang Sheng asked at last. Zhang Xi thought for a while, and said, the issue of exerting strength, my punch is very loose. Yes, very savvy. Zhang Sheng smiled and nodded. He also said, the force you mentioned is actually the main data of the body's control ability. Like your previous strength test, they were 121 kilograms, 135 kilograms, and 119 kilograms, and the fluctuation range was very large. This is because of the movement of your punches. Very non-standard, indicating that the body's ability to control is very poor, and the emitted power is only 40%. Zhang Xi glanced at Zhang Wei who was training. This guy's power was 95%. The gap is a bit big. Zhang Sheng understood Zhang Xi's mood and smiled, don't compare with him. He has received professional training since he was a child. It's normal for him to exert his strength. Of course, his understanding in exerting strength is really good. About 60%, the martial artist is higher after training and actual combat, but there are still very few that can reach more than 90%. I said this just to make you understand that martial arts talent and physical fitness are on the one hand, and the ability to exert force and actual combat ability are also on the other. For the next training, you need to improve not only your physical fitness, but also your physical fitness. Power capacity. The ability to control the body, exert strength. Actual combat, I understand. Jiang's words are clear. After listening to Zhang Sheng's analysis, Zhang Xi felt that it was really right to come to the martial arts gym for training. If you feel blind, only rely on the experience value panel to improve your martial arts talent. In the end, he might become a warrior with no jinshan. Now I will teach you a set of general basic boxing techniques, which can improve your current body control ability and solve the problem of exertion. I will say hello to the martial arts gym afterwards. You can come to the martial arts gym to train at any time in the future. Thank you, Uncle Zhang. Zhang Xi quickly thanked him. Inside the martial arts hall, Zhang Xi changed into a training suit and watched Zhang Sheng practice basic boxing 3 times. After I got a general impression, I started practicing one by one under Zhang Sheng's guidance. This set of basic boxing methods is a strong player of the Wuhe Association. It combines a variety of advanced boxing methods and summarizes it. It is very suitable for beginners in martial arts. It looks simple, but it is the basis of various advanced boxing methods. Zhang Sheng said. Zhang Xi nodded. After learning a few times, he was able to walk through the basic boxing completely, but some movements were still irregular. One to teach, one to practice. Jiang Xi was very quick to get started, and Zhang Sheng nodded constantly, and at the same time was a little surprised by Jiang's savvy. In this way, about an hour passed. Zhang Xi started from the first move, practiced again, thinking about the essentials of basic boxing. This set of basic boxing methods is divided into 5 forms and 20 forms. Tiger-shaped bone training, leopard-shaped training power, snake-shaped chi training, crane-shaped training refined, dragon-shaped training spirit. Gradually, Zhang Xi had a feeling, and his moves were extremely smooth. Although the body is thin and weak, there is more charm between each move. Zhang Sheng opened his eyes slightly, unbelievable. It was the first time he saw someone practicing basic boxing, and it took 1 hour to get started. Even at the beginning, it took him more than a week to achieve this step. Genius? Zhang Sheng had expectations for Zhang Xi for the first time. Maybe I found a treasure. Here, after Zhang Xi entered the state, a set of punches came down, making it smoother than before. After practicing it again, Zhang Xi smiled and was about to talk to Zhang Sheng, but suddenly he was there. Zhang Xi's smile was even brighter. This was an unexpected surprise. It turned out that there was more than one way to get experience points by killing monsters. But what has the panel updated? Zhang Xi practiced in the martial arts gym for 2 hours, and left at 8 o'clock in the evening. He assured Zhang Daodu that he would go home before 9 o'clock in the future. We must keep our promises and do what we say. On the crowded railcar, Zhang Xi closed his eyes and calmed down and opened the experience value panel. Level, Ordinary People Martial Skills, Basic Boxing Method Force, 40% Experience Value, 135. The updated panel has 2 more columns at once, Martial Arts and Force. The difference is that behind the Force, there is only a percentage, and there is no experience value that can be increased. It seems that it only serves to display the status. As for martial arts, Zhang Xi has expectations and can use experience points to directly increase it. In this way, there is nothing to worry about when working hard. When practicing boxing just now, Zhang Sheng told him the difference between the martial arts college entrance examination and the martial arts assessment, and once again emphasized the importance of exerting strength. The martial arts college entrance examination is a selective examination. It is enough to test the martial arts talent. It is aimed at students. The martial arts assessment is much stricter. Because you pass the martial arts test, you can become a martial artist, qualified to go out of the city, go to the wilderness area to experience, fight with monsters, and see the vast world. Therefore, martial arts talent has become a secondary issue, mainly investigating strength and speed, and the final actual combat. Strength is very important. Even if the martial arts talent meets the requirements, if the strength is not enough, the actual strength and speed displayed will not meet the requirements of the martial artist's assessment, and there is no match with the martial artist, and there is no fighting power. Martial arts talent is the foundation, power is skill, and martial arts is a way to improve skills. Zhang Xi made these clear, with a smile on his face. Just when the car arrived, he got off the car and hurried home. "Brother, our house seems to have been robbed," Zhang Daodu said with a sullen face when he got home. "A thief? How could it be possible? Who doesn't know that Xinghuayuan is a slum in Luming district? The thieves all come with a smile and leave in tears. Then why are the pork knuckles you bought yesterday so much less?" It might be the rats that eat it. There are many rats in the community, you don't know. Hehe, eat 30 pig knuckles at once, unless it's a big mouse of 300 catties. Zhang Xi fell silent, he couldn't say that he ate it himself. At that time, Zhang Daodu must have laughed at him again, starving to death. "When I think of ghosts, there is a faint voice in my mind, and maybe I can't sleep again at night." Hemp egg. The night is quiet. Although Zhang Xi was used to the two bright moons in the sky, when he got up from the bed, he still subconsciously glanced at the night sky outside the window. Then he began to improve his martial arts talent. According to yesterday's experience, he prepared 30 pig knuckles this time. But it turned out to be a bit unexpected. After eating 30 pork knuckles this time, I was not full and I was a little hungry. I can't sleep when I'm hungry. After thinking about it, Zhang Xi secretly ran to the kitchen without turning on the light, took out the remaining pork knuckles, and started chewing. After gnawing 10 more, I patted my stomach contentedly, full. With a snap, the light suddenly turned on. "Zhang Xi, I know that you are not possessed by a starving ghost, you are possessed by a 300 Jin rat." Zhang Daodu is wearing pajamas, holding a doll, and standing at the kitchen door. "Ahaha!" Zhang Xigan laughed. "Don't steal it next time, don't make it like I can't support you." Zhang Daodu sullenly turned and left. Zhang Xi shook his head and chuckled, and went back to the house. Try to improve basic boxing again. In Xiantian Wuguan, in front of Zhang Sheng, Zhang Xi was cautious and did not try the new panel features. The experience value panel, like his identity as a rebirth, is his biggest secret, and cannot be known to anyone. Improve the basic boxing skills by 5 experience points. Zhang Xi said silently in his heart. In an instant, Zhang Xi felt a strong sense of dizziness. His head seemed to be smashed with a stick, and a lot of information was stuffed into his head. After a while, Zhang Xi felt that he had returned to normal and his dizziness disappeared. "If you want to be so violent, can't you be gentle?" Zhang Xi slandered for a while. The level is also raised, and the heart is panicked when hungry. Level, Ordinary People Martial Arts, Basic Fist Force, 52% Experience Value, 125. Zhang Xi discovered that after the boxing technique has increased by 5 experience points, the force has increased from 40% to 52%. Confirmed that martial arts can improve the ability to exert force. Afterwards, Zhang Xi got up and practiced the basic boxing skills. Tiger, leopard, snake, crane, dragon. After the whole set came down, it was obvious that the boxing technique made him practice alive. Sure enough, the information just now is an understanding of basic boxing. Suddenly a reminder sounded in his mind, making Zhang Xi stunned. Accumulatively practice 100 times to add experience points. Is this also okay? That's right. After practicing the basic boxing 100 times, you will feel a little bit more or less. The experience value added is a bit low. After school the next day, Zhang Xi and Zhang Wei came to Suanation Wuguan again. When Zhang Sheng discovered that Zhang Xi's boxing technique had improved significantly, he was shocked. Zhang Xi lied that he went back to practice boxing last night. This makes Zhang Sheng more convinced that he has found the treasure. If he gave Zhang Xi a physical fitness test, he would definitely be even more shocked. Of course, Zhang Xi will not take the initiative to reveal the true physical fitness. The most important thing is to keep a low profile. When he returned home in the evening, Zhang Xi saw a scene that moved him. The table was filled with braised pork knuckles, beef, lamb chops, roast duck and other drooling meats, which would definitely cost thousands of dollars. Zhang Daodu had just bought them. With her stupid temperament and spending so much money at once, she must have made a lot of determination, right? Brother, don't worry about eating, just take care of it. You eat too, take good care of your body, and become a martial artist in the future. That is, I will also become a warrior in the future, and I will be better than you. A strong like Li Bibai. If you want to be better than me, you have to eat more. Humph. It was another morning. Zhang Xi saw the sunshine coming in through the window, and he was in a good mood and it was another day full of hope. After having breakfast with Zhang Daodu, they carried their school bags and went to school. Before leaving the complex, I found a black law enforcement vehicle parked in the complex. Many people in the community are surrounding the law enforcement vehicle, discussing something. This makes Zhang Xi very puzzled. The law enforcement team is a special department responsible for cases related to warriors. It is composed of warriors. How come here? After approaching, he heard the discussion next to him clearly. It's so miserable, 7 people died overnight. The old man Wang in Building 2, and Li Meizi in Building 9, are all dead. I heard that there was the worst family in Building 15, with 5 people, so only 1 survived. Zhang Xi was surprised, old man Wang? Li Meizi? He is very familiar with these 2 people, they are both famous for their love of petty and cheapness. A few days ago, it seemed that all Shen's meat wholesale at Zillow Market received free old hens. The 2 of them had accidents at the same time, could it be because of the mutant chicken? Zhang Xi was afraid for a while. Fortunately, after killing the mutant chicken, the experience value panel was activated, allowing him to discover the problem with the mutant chicken. Otherwise, he and Zhang Daodu are just like these people. At this moment, I saw several black law enforcement officers coming from a distance, each carrying a black bag. Looking at the shape of the bag, it should contain a human body. Uncle Zhang. Zhang Xi discovered that one of the law enforcement officers was actually Zhang Sheng. Oh, it's Xiao Zhang, why are you here? Zhang Sheng saw Zhang Xi, put the bag containing the body into the law enforcement vehicle, and walked over. I live in this community, Uncle Zhang, are you a law enforcement officer? Zhang Xi asked. Forgot to tell you, this is my official profession. Zhang Sheng smiled. Have you found out the cause of these people's death? Zhang Xi asked tentatively. Looking at the symptoms of the deceased, many of the blood vessels in his body have exploded. It should be that he took an illegal body-strengthening medicine, something similar to a genetic medicine. Zhang Sheng did not hide. Zhang Xi nodded, it seems that the body-strengthening medicine should be forbidden. After thinking about it, Zhang Xi said again, Uncle Zhang, I remember that among these people, there were 2 Shen's meat wholesalers who were in Zillow Market and received free chickens. Oh! Zhang Sheng's expression immediately became serious, and he said to Zhang Xi, you wait a moment, I call our captain to come over. Soon, a middle-aged man in his 40s walked over. This person has a firm face, and you can vaguely see a hideous scar behind the earlobe. Moreover, the look in his eyes made Zhang Xi feel very pressured. This is the firm look that can only be had after experiencing life and death. A very powerful warrior. Zhang Sheng smiled encouragingly at Zhang Xi beside him. I'm Liu Shan, the captain of the No. 1 Law Enforcement Brigade of Baishan Prefecture. You can tell me the situation in detail. Liu Shan said solemnly. As soon as he spoke, the sense of pressure disappeared immediately. Zhang Xi took a deep breath and told Li Meizi and others about the free chickens from beginning to end, including the general situation of Shen's meat wholesale and Shen's slaughterhouse, without any concealment. Thank you, but from now on, don't tell other people about these situations, even your family. Liu Shan said. There is no danger, right? Zhang Xi trembled. If you knew it, it wouldn't be troublesome. What are you doing with these? Don't worry, Baishan Mansion is still very safe. Liu Shan nodded. Zhang Xi was silent. 7 people died suddenly in the community. It's safe to be a ghost. After the law enforcement team left, the community became more lively. Everyone was discussing this matter, and there were all kinds of speculations, even haunted things. But no one thought that this was caused by a mutant chicken. Zhang Xi understands that this is caused by inertial thinking. The news has long been publicized that the poultry in the city will not mutate, so no one thinks about it. If it were not for the experience value panel, he might be the same as these people. I was thinking of going to the Shen slaughterhouse on the weekend and harvesting a wave of experience. It seems that I can't go. Zhang Xi shook his head. He suddenly remembered that when he saw Shen Chuan that day, he felt very similar to Zhang Sheng. Maybe Shen Chuan is also a warrior. You must quickly become a warrior, otherwise you won't even have the power to protect yourself. Zhang Xi suddenly felt a sense of urgency. And we must move out of this community as soon as possible, because people in slums have no sense of existence in this era, and some lawbreakers are easy to look at here. Zhang Xi turned around, originally intending to comfort Zhang Daodu. However, he found that Zhang Daodu was more calm than him, watching the law enforcement team place the corpses with relish. What a big-hearted girl! In the next few days, Zhang Xi spent the rest of his life in fear, worrying that someone would come and kill him because of the mutant chicken incident. After no one discussed the death of Li Meizi and others, Zhang Xi just relaxed a little. It seems that he was thinking too much. Soon, 10 days passed. It was Saturday, and there was no need to go to class or set up a stall to sell vegetables. Zhang Xi came to Xiantian Wuguan early. At this time, there were very few people in the martial arts hall. They came to Building 3. Except for a few people torturing themselves in the ordinary training ground on the second floor, there were no people on the first and third floors. Zhang Xi was the first to arrive. It just so happens, take advantage of no one, test your current physical fitness. Zhang Xi walked to the dynamometer and jumped a little excitedly to relax his whole body. Then the whole person suddenly violent, the feet exerted force, driving the waist and hips, the powerful force was transmitted to the spine, the right shoulder suddenly leaned forward, and finally the right fist slammed on the dynamometer. Bang bang bang! 3 punches in a row. Very good, the strength is more concentrated than last time. See how much? 678 kilograms. 680 kilograms. 682 kilograms. Average 680 kilograms. A series of red numbers made Zhang Xi's eyes bright and radiant. Haha, in just over a week, the strength increased from 125 kilograms to 680 kg. Look at how much speed has increased. Zhang Xi walked to the speedometer, adjusted his breathing, leaned his upper body slightly forward, and ran with all his strength, faster and faster, shaking his hands and feet vigorously. 22.8 m/s. Equivalent to 4.38 seconds per 100 meters. This kind of speed, if placed in the old age, is simply unimaginable. In contrast, my speed is better because of my size. Because Zhang Xi's body has never been fat, it has always been thin. During this period of time, I worked hard to make up for it and looked a little stronger. Although the figure looks a little lean, but it is close to perfect streamline, and the exposed muscles look very explosive. In addition, the height has grown from 1.7 meters before to nearly 1.8 meters. Standing there, like a leopard standing upright. The last martial arts talent, Zhang Xi has not been tested, because there is an experience value panel, there is no need to test. Level, ordinary people martial skills, basic boxing force, 84% experience value, 51. These days, he uses the panel every night to upgrade his level and martial arts. The 81 points of martial arts talent has far exceeded the admission line of the Martial Arts Academy over the years. Basic boxing has also reached the state of unity. At the same time, the improvement of boxing skills has greatly improved his ability to exert force. 84% of the effort is excellent. Martial skills are divided into 3 realms: small achievement, subtlety, and unity. My basic boxing method has just reached the threshold of unity. If the boxing method is truly complete, perhaps my strength can reach 100%. However, the consumption of experience points is too fast, you have to find a way to get more experience points. Now practicing boxing has become a stable source of experience points. But practicing 100 basic boxing techniques can only gain 1 point of experience, and the speed is too slow. Zhang Xi was a little worried. Shen's slaughterhouse must not go anymore. Although no one went to discuss the mutant chicken incident, Zhang Sheng has never been to the martial arts gym since Zhang Sheng and other law enforcement officers went to Xinghuayuan to take away the bodies of Li Meizi and others. This is also Zhang Xi's only concern. It can make Zhang Sheng, a martial artist, so busy that he has no time to come to the martial arts hall, indicating that the problem of mutant chickens is very serious. Just thinking about it, footsteps upstairs sounded in the distance. Zhang Xi looked over and thought it was Zhang Wei who was here, but found that it was not. The 2 young men came up talking and laughing. The handsome young man walking in the front made Zhang Xi feel familiar, where he should have seen it. Soon, Zhang Xi remembered that he had met this person at school. Qiao Wei, a martial arts genius known as Baishan No. 1 Middle School once in 10 years. In the last martial arts talent survey organized by Kitayama No. 1 Middle School, Qiao Wei's martial arts talent score was 91 points. In addition, Qiao Yi is also the successor of Qiao's biological group in Luming District, a well-known large enterprise. The combination of martial arts genius, wealth, and handsomeness makes Qiao Wei the most famous student in Baishan No. 1 Middle School. Although Zhang Xi seldom pays attention to these gossips, he can't stand Qiao Wei's reputation. After reading it several times in the school newspaper, he has an impression. Such people should have special training grounds at home. Zhang Xi was a little confused. Then he shook his head again. It doesn't matter whether others come to the martial arts gym or not, just be yourself. In the martial arts hall, Zhang Xi got rid of the distracting thoughts in his mind and concentrated on practicing basic boxing techniques. Every day before, he had to come to the martial arts gym for 2 hours after school. It's just the weekend now, and I have enough time to practice boxing well and increase experience points. However, in public, Zhang Xi deliberately slowed down the speed and strength of his boxing practice to prevent others from seeing his boxing state. Otherwise, it would be a troublesome thing to explain. In only 10 days, the basic boxing technique reached the state of unity, and anyone who saw it would be shocked. Zhang Xi was practicing, and he noticed that someone walked into the martial arts hall and looked up. It was Qiao Wei and his companions. "Zhou Zhu, this is the sparring you are looking for me? Basic boxing is not as good as you. I ordered the sparring on the internet, and the internet said that the basic boxing technique has reached the state of miniaturization? I didn't expect it to be so soft." Qiao Wei looked unhappy. Recently, the martial artist in his family went out for business, no one to guide him in training, so he came to Xiantian Wuguan. By the way, he asked Zhou Zhu to find him a training partner. "Sparring? You made a mistake, I am not a sparring." Zhang Xi frowned, these two people were very rude. Are you not Lu Dabao? Zhou Zhu asked. No. Zhang Xi dropped 2 words and turned and walked a little further. Don't you know that wasting other people's time is a crime? Young Master Chiao, wait a moment, I just remembered that the appointment time is 9 o'clock, and it's only 8 o'clock now. Zhou Zuxi smiled. Wait for an hour? Tell the man just now, let him be a sparring partner for me, and give him 1,000 yuan an hour. Chiao Wei looked playful. He is very weak. Zhou Zhu was puzzled. It's bad, it's fun to play. Isn't the sparring used as sandbags? Chiao Wei stared at Zhang Xi in the distance. He suddenly remembered that he had seen Zhang Xi before. Among the senior high school students of Baishan No. 1 Middle School, he is a martial arts genius and Zhang Xi is a liberal arts genius. And there is one more thing, Chiao Wei remembers, Zhang Xi and Zhang Wei have a very good relationship, and he and Zhang Wei have always had conflicts and contested many times. It should be very interesting to use liberal arts geniuses as sparring partners, so hurry up. Chiao Wei urged. Zhou Zhu also laughed. He knew Chiao Wei's temper, and indeed he often beat the sparring partner with bruises. But what does the life and death of the training partner have to do with him, as long as Chiao Shao is happy? In the distance, Zhang Xi frowned when he saw Zhou Zhu approaching. This man was endless. Hey, give you 1,000 yuan, and practice with us Chiao Shao for an hour. Zhou Zhu cheered Jiang's words and said with a smile, who are you? The time these two people wasted was enough for him to practice basic boxing once, that's 0.01 experience point. What's your attitude? Do you know the Chiao biological group? We, young Master Chiao, are the only son of Chiao's boss, and a martial arts genius in Baishan No. 1 Middle School. We will become a powerful martial artist in a short time. With your strength, the boxing skills are small, the strength is soft, let you be a sparring partner for Chiao Shao, that is to give you a face. I warn you, don't be shameless. Zhou Zhu pointed to Zhang Xi. I warn you, don't finger me. Zhang Xi's face fell gloomy. 10,000 yuan, Zhang Xi, I will give you 10,000 yuan, come to me as a Wenyihuer training partner. I heard that you used to be a homeless child, relying on begging for a living. I will give you 10,000 yuan, is it interesting? Chiao Wei came over and said with a playful smile. Is there something wrong with your brain? Zhang Xi sneered. Smelly beggar, are you looking for death? Before Chiao Wei got angry, Zhou Zhu cursed and started directly, throwing his fist towards Zhang Xi. Humph! Zhang Xi snorted coldly, his body exerted force naturally, and he used the leopard-shaped moves in the basic boxing technique. The whole figure fell down slightly like a leopard, and then burst out suddenly. The same punch, with anger, smashed out fiercely. Boom! Zhang Xi's speed was faster, hitting Zhou Zhu's abdomen with a punch, and at the same time he turned slightly to avoid the opponent's fist. Zhou Zhu let out a scream, and was smashed several meters away by Zhang Xi and fell to the ground. The basic boxing technique of the realm of unity. Chiao Wei's eyes narrowed slightly. Zhou Zhu's martial arts talent is 72 points, and the basic boxing is close to the realm of miniaturization. Zhou Zhu, who can smash into the air with one punch, either has a stronger martial arts talent, or achieves unity in his martial arts realm. In Chiao Wei's view, Zhang Xi is obviously the latter. That's interesting. Chiao Wei was eager to try, planning to make a move. Zhang Xi's expression became serious. He has self-knowledge. Now it is difficult to beat Chiao Wei, who has a talent of 91 points in martial arts. But everyone else is riding on their faces, now they admit it. Impossible. Fighting for injuries, also bite off a piece of meat on the opponent. Although Zhang Xi is usually easygoing, many things can be left with a smile and pass away. But only your life and face, you can't just smile, you can't let it go. Life is first, face is behind. Unless it threatens his life, never bow your head. I don't want to take a good amount of money, I have to make it hard. Qiao Wei smiled and twisted his neck. You can try. Zhang Xi also clenched his fists. Drink! Qiao Wei shouted and kicked the ground. The explosive force made the floor made of high-strength alloy make a muffled noise. The speed is very fast, the fist wind howls, and he comes to Zhang Xi in an instant. It is also the basic boxing technique in the realm of unity. It is worthy of being a martial arts genius once in a decade in Baishan No. What kind of crazy? Zhang Xi sneered, and the whole person descended like a tiger, attacking with his fists, and rushing towards him. Bang bang bang! The two played dozens of punches in a row. Then, they separated again. Zhang Xi only felt that his arm was numb from the shock, and there was a sharp pain in his right shoulder, which was hit by Qiao Wei's heavy fist. In this way, the power of his right arm was basically abolished by half, and if he continued to fight, the situation would definitely become more passive. Although Qiao Wei had the upper hand, he was shocked. In addition to Zhang Wei, the third-year students of Baishan No. 1 Middle School can withstand his full attack. But Qiao Wei didn't show his shock, instead he smiled and said, "There is something, since it gives you a face and you don't want it, let you lie down at home until the end of the college entrance examination." He was about to interrupt Zhang Xi's leg, so that Zhang Xi could not participate in this year's college entrance examination. No grudges, just for happiness. Just as many as you can. Zhang Xi sneered. Qiao Wei. At this moment, an angry shout came from outside the martial arts hall. Zhang Wei is here. Come to me if you want to fight and bully my brother, what a skill. Zhang Wei took off his jacket and rolled up his sleeves. Qiao Wei smiled and said to Zhang Xi, "You are lucky." After speaking, turn around and leave. He has competed with Zhang Wei many times and is confident that he can beat Zhang Wei, but he has no confidence that Zhang Xi and Zhang Wei can join forces. Later, Zhou assistant saw that the situation was not right, and quickly got up from the ground, with an ugly face and left. Bah! Two shameless things! Zhang Wei cursed at Qiao Wei's back. However, Zhang Xi grinned, clutching his right shoulder, and there was a large amount of bruise on both arms, almost unconscious. He took this down today. However, fortunately, Zhang Wei did not see the scene where he and Qiao Wei were fighting, which saved the trouble of explanation. Xian Tianwu Hall considers that members will be injured during training, and specially prepared special healing medicines are effective. After Zhang Xi applied the medicine, the bruising on his arm was only an hour away, and most of it went away. It's just the right shoulder injury, which shook the bones. It didn't get so fast, and it was still aching. When lifting the shoulder, the movement would be a little stiff. Qiao Wei's dog, I'll meet you next time, I'll help you out. Zhang Wei said. No, you can't beat him again. Zhang Xi smiled. Damn, do you want to be so direct? Haha, look well, I'll do this myself. It makes you better than me. Zhang Xi was silent, and he will be better than you in a few days. The strength he measured just now was 680 kilograms. It would take 2 days to exceed Zhang Wei's strength of less than 800 kilograms. On 2 weekends, Zhang Xi practiced boxing at Xiantian Wuguan. Unlike Zhang Wei, who has been practicing strength. According to Zhang Wei and Zhang Sheng, Zhang Xi really needs to practice boxing first to improve the ability to exert force. The improvement of martial arts talent is now secondary. Because neither Zhang Wei nor Zhang Sheng thought that Zhang Xi could pass this year's martial arts college entrance examination. They have also repeatedly suggested that Jiang's third year of high school should read for 1 more year, and then take the martial arts college entrance examination next year. 1 more year, under the guidance of Zhang Sheng, Zhang Xi has a great opportunity to improve his martial arts talent. But Zhang Xi always answered vaguely, coping with the past. Everything waits for the martial arts college entrance examination this year to start. In addition, Zhang Xi did not think of a good way to increase the experience value. Only practice boxing, practice boxing. With his current speed and full strength, he can practice basic boxing 500 times a day, which is 5 points of experience. Normally, the training time is limited, and the experience value gained by practicing boxing every day is only 1 point. Maybe it will be fine when you become a martial artist. But Zhang Xi understands that at the moment, what he needs to deal with is the Audiobook college entrance examination. In a blink of an eye, half a month passed. New Moon Year 92, June 1st, Saturday. The Audiobook college entrance examination has finally arrived. In the morning at home for breakfast, Zhang Daodu specially prepared a fried dough stick and 2 eggs for Zhang Xi, meaning 100 points. Brother, I heard that the full score of the Audiobook college entrance examination is 100 points. After eating these, I will get a full score. You are talking about martial arts talent. In the 70-year history of the martial arts college entrance examination, the person with the highest score is only 99 points. Be confident, I will be a person with a score of 200 in the future. If you don't get a score of 100 this time, how can I go out to meet people in the future? Zhang Xi smiled and shook his head. The little girl is more confident than him. Unlike in Xiantian Wushu Hall last night, Zhang Wei and Zhang Sheng were worried that he would be troubled by the martial arts college entrance examination and said a lot of comforting words. Zhang Wei, don't be afraid, I don't mind waiting for you at the Budo Academy for a year, but when that happens, I will be a senior, ha ha ha. Zhang Sheng, don't be discouraged if you fail the exam. Just experience it and accumulate experience for next year. Sure enough, the person who believes in me the most is Zhang Daodu, who is so self-confident. However, this time he can really get 100 points. Level, Ordinary People Martial Arts, Basic Boxing Force, 100% Experience Value, 24. In terms of martial arts talent, Zhang Xi scored 100 points last week. It is worth mentioning that when the martial arts talent was increased to 100 points that day, Zhang Xi discovered that the skin of his 2 hands actually showed a faint copper color when he used his full strength. It's hard to see clearly if you don't look carefully. Zhang Xi guessed that if this kind of copper color can cover the whole body, maybe he is a warrior. But then, he was stuck here all the time, unable to improve, and he couldn't add level experience, just like having encountered a bottleneck. It made him worry for a long time, so he could only wait for a chance to ask Zhang Sheng again. The basic martial arts boxing method was also filled up a few days ago. The complete unity of the basic boxing techniques allowed him to achieve 100% of his power generation ability. It can be said that as far as his current physical fitness is concerned, the small martial arts college entrance examination is of course not a problem. Baishan No. 1 Middle School is the best high school in Baishan Prefecture, with about 10,000 senior high school students. The number of martial arts candidates who signed up for the martial arts college entrance examination was the largest, with more than 1,000 people. On average, 10 students participated in a class. Like other middle schools, there are only a few hundred martial arts candidates in the whole school, and only a few students. 8 in the morning. More than 1,000 martial arts candidates gathered in the playground of Baishan No. 1 Middle School. High in the stands, Principal Guang Mingding was giving a speech. Although impassioned, not many martial arts candidates listened. Listening to your speech cannot increase your martial arts talent. In the audience, most of the martial arts candidates were chatting, and a few were silent. I don't know which martial arts school Chiao will attend. If I don't see Chiao again, how can I live? A girl was very sad with an idiot expression. Just how you look, can Xiao Chiao have a fancy to you? I want to see you too. The other girl sneered. Popo, try one more sentence. Who does Popo scold? You scold you. The 2 girls fought together, twisted their ears, tugged their hair, and pulled their clothes, all of a sudden, and the boys nearby were so excited to watch. After all, among the martial arts candidates, the proportion of girls is too small. There are a lot of boys nearby, just these two girls. Zhang Xi also read it with gusto. Although the two women grew up in average, they were still in good shape. After all, they both took the martial arts exam, and they usually train a lot. Soon, Lu Hui, their head teacher, came to separate the two of them, and the plot ended. "This classmate, don't you know to persuade you just to watch the show here?" Lu Hui suddenly taught Zhang Xi. "I'm not their father." Zhang Xi smiled, "You don't make sense, and I don't make sense. How do you speak? Who is your head teacher? What kind of students do you teach?" At this time, Meng Shanjun came over. "I'm his head teacher, Lao Lu, don't make trouble at this time," Meng Shanjun said sternly. He was strict with the students, but he was very short-sighted. Lu Hui's face became difficult to look. Both of them are star class teachers of Baishan No. 1 Middle School and have brought out many good students. In this third year of high school, martial arts genius Jiao Wei is a student of Lu Hui, while martial arts genius Zhang Wei, second only to Jiao Wei, is a student of Meng Shanjun. So the two competed a lot with each other, and they didn't show each other a good face. "Who am I, Lao Meng? Do you want to gamble on the results of the martial arts college entrance examination? See which class has high martial arts talents and losers, enrolling students in the second half of the year. How about giving the other three good martial arts students?" Lu Hui suddenly smiled. "Bored, not interested." Meng Shanjun shook his head. "He is not stupid, he will lose the game." 2 months ago, Jiao Wei's martial arts talent had been 91 points, and it must be higher now. And Zhang Wei, the most talented martial artist in his class, had only 84 points in the test a few days ago. "Teacher Meng, don't persuade, bet with him," Zhang Xi said suddenly. "Meng Shanjun has a black line. Is this the student he taught? If Zhang Xi is a genius in liberal arts, he would have passed it with a fist. Lao Meng, look, how confident the students in your class are, so you should learn more." Lu Hui smiled and glanced at Zhang Xi with praise. Zhang Xi ignored him, and used the way of complimenting others to obliterate others. "Such people are all bitches. Don't booze." Meng Shanjun glared at Zhang Xi. Zhang Xi smiled and pulled Meng Shanjun aside. In the other's puzzled eyes, Zhang Xi quietly stretched out his hand and slammed his fist. In an instant, a faint copper color appeared. If you don't look carefully, it's hard to see clearly. But Meng Shanjun saw it clearly, his eyes widened, and he was so shocked that he couldn't speak for a long time. Extreme martial artist. It means a non-mara who has the characteristics of a martial artist. This kind of person can participate in the martial arts assessment at any time and become a martial artist. Those with martial arts talents do not necessarily mean they can become martial artists. But the ultimate quasi-martialer can definitely become a fighter. When did Zhang Xi become so powerful? He remembers clearly that 2 months ago, Zhang Xi's martial arts talent was 21 points. The ultimate martial artist, martial arts talent is at least 95 points. Could it be? Meng Shanjun thought of something pleasantly. A few years ago, there was a student in Kitayama No. 1 high school. In just 2 months, his martial arts talent increased from more than 30 to more than 60, and he was successfully admitted to the Budo Academy. The situation of Zhang Xi is similar to this, but the improvement is greater, but it is not impossible. Similar to the awakening genius of mutant creatures. Meng Shanjun's breathing became rapid, too excited. "Teacher Meng, calm down, you still have to bet with others." Zhang Xi made a look. Meng Shanjun nodded quickly, and after calming down his excitement, he walked with Zhang Xi to Lu Hui again. "Old Lu, our teachers and students in Baishan No. 1 Middle School have no scams. I bet you." But the conditions have to be changed. Those who lose will enroll students in the second half of the year and give them 10 good martial arts seedlings. Meng Shanjun said. Lu Hui was surprised at first, and glanced at Jiang Wei not far away. Could it be that Jiang Wei's martial arts talent has suddenly improved? But he immediately thought of the martial arts talent Qiao Yi tested the other day, and smiled confidently, 10 is 10, anyway, I will win in the end. Then wait and see. Meng Shanjun didn't read Jiang's words, and turned back to the front of the queue. Jiang Xi smiled secretly, Lao Meng was not so staid. Jiang Wei came over and asked in a low voice, what did you tell Lao Meng? He actually dared to bet with Jiao Wei's head teacher. You'll know when the Wuyuk College entrance examination starts. Fantastically. Jiang Xi smiled, and then asked, are you sure you want to report to Shuntian Budo Academy? Is Baishan Budo Academy not good? We will still be classmates then. Classmate, when you can enter the martial arts college, I will be your senior. Jiang Wei smiled triumphantly. Haha. Jiang Xi sneered. Jiang Wei was silent for a while, and then said, the Baishan Budo Academy is too close to home. I like freedom. And the Shuntian Budo Academy is located in Shuntian Prefecture, the capital of the Great Xia Kingdom. There are more martial arts experts than Baishan Prefecture. Only with the strong can you become stronger. Jiang Xi was silent, he heard what Jiang Wei said, and Jiang Wei wanted to persuade him to also go to Shuntian Martial Arts Academy. The 7 major cities of the Great Xia Kingdom, Shuntian Mansion, Luoking Mansion, Shushan Mansion, Baishan Mansion, Chang'an Mansion, Jianghai Mansion, Qingnan Mansion. The 4 major martial arts colleges, Shuntian Budo College, Shushan Budo College, Baishan Budo College, Luoking Budo College. Except for Chang'an Prefecture, Jianghai Prefecture, and Qingnan Prefecture, where there are no martial arts schools, the other 4 cities have them. But no matter what other cities and martial arts schools are, whether they are strong or weak, Jiang Xi has long chosen Baishan Martial Arts Academy. Because in this world, where Zhang Daodu is, his home is. The two have been dependent on each other for 6 years and have long been accustomed to each other's existence. Jiang Xi could hardly imagine how Zhang Daodu would survive if he was not there. So he can't run to Shuntian or other cities like Zhongwei. After another while, 9 o'clock in the morning. Principal Guang Mingding finally finished his speech. On the playground, the martial arts candidates had already complained. Subsequently, more than 1,000 martial arts candidates and leading teachers took the rail car to the Baishan Prefecture Martial Artist Association. The Wuyuk College entrance examination will be conducted there. Baishan Prefecture Warrior Association, affiliated to the Great Xia Country Warrior Association, is responsible for the management and supervision of all warriors-related matters in Baishan Prefecture, with great power. Starting from Baishan No. 1 Middle School, take a rail car and arrive in less than an hour. 10 o'clock in the morning. On the large square in front of the Wahi Association, more than 10,000 martial arts candidates from various middle schools in Baishan Prefecture stood neatly together. 3 middle-aged men wearing black warrior uniforms walked to the high platform in front of the square. Jiang Xi's eyes moved slightly, and he saw Liu Shan, the captain of the Baishan Prefectural Law Enforcement Team. Liu Shan led the team to deal with the death of Li Meizi and others last time. At that time, Liu Shan gave him a strong feeling, as if he had experienced countless fights. But now, Liu Shan is standing behind the middle-aged man with the national character face headed by him. Obviously, the strength of the middle-aged man with Quaza Lian is stronger. The face of the national character is He Chongxing, the president of the Baishan Prefecture Warrior Association, the only Alavel warrior in Baishan Prefecture. Jiang Wei whispered. Jiang Xi was shocked. Alavel warrior. During this period of time, he trained with Zhang Sheng in Xiantian Martial Arts Hall, and had a general understanding of the division of martial arts strength. Official martial artists are divided into 6 levels, A, B, C, D, E, N.F. Among them, the Alavel is the strongest. It is said to be able to withstand the power of a nuclear bomb. The one on the left is Chen Yuan, director of the Law Enforcement Bureau, and also the owner of the Baishan Mansion of Xiantian Wuguan. His strength is unknown. The one on the right is Liu Shan, the captain of the Law Enforcement 1st Brigade, a clever martial artist, also from Xiantian Wuguan, but he is the deputy master of the museum. I have seen it several times. Jiang Wei smiled. Why are they all from Xiantian Wuguan? Jiang Xi found this problem. The result of the power struggle. Jiang Wei only said one sentence, and he dared not say anything further. Jiang Xi changed his mind and understood the meaning of this sentence. The Baishan Prefecture Warrior Association has 3 power departments: the Warrior Law Enforcement Bureau, the Warrior Supervision Bureau, and the Warrior Affairs Bureau. Whoever is in power can get more martial arts resources. The warrior forces in Baishan Prefecture are headed by Xiantian Wuguan and Moon God Wuguan. Since the Martial Arts Law Enforcement Bureau is in charge of the Xiantian Martial Arts Museum, one of the remaining Martial Arts Supervision Bureau and the Martial Arts Affairs Bureau must belong to the Moon God Martial Arts Museum, so that the two can check and balance each other. However, the affairs of the Wahi Affairs Bureau are complicated and miscellaneous, and it is not as powerful as the Wahi Supervision Bureau. Therefore, the Moon God Martial Arts Hall is in charge of the Martial Supervisory Bureau with the greatest probability. As for the remaining Military Affairs Bureau, it must be controlled by other military forces. Jiang Xi shook his head and chuckled, thinking, if you didn't guess wrong, He Chongxing, who is in charge of the Wahi Association, must come from the official Daxia Kingdom and control 3 departments with one hand. Balanced and restrained, the wisdom of our ancestors for thousands of years is outdated in any era.